What's happening, all you Knights of the Wind? Duuz-Diz-Din, back again with more Sonic the Hedgehog by IDW. Last time, the electrified Surge, using the power of Eggman's Dynamo Cage, which harnesses the power of the Wisp against their will, has become supercharged and have stolen all of Whisper's wisp, putting Sonic and Tails very much on the rope. And things didn't get any better, because after they finally managed to get one over on her, in came Kit, who they were just starting to bring around to their side. But Kit, feeling as though they had lied to him about Surge's apparent demise during the issue 50 fiasco, where they assumed she fell to her death, Kit has become even more incensed, feeling they are nothing but liars. And so the terrible twosome have retreated for now, with Sonic and Tails knowing they need to take these two down before they hurt themselves or anyone else. But Eggman is joining in on the mix, cause you don't steal from the egg without him getting something in return. As the situation continues to escalate, the question becomes, who will rise to the occasion, and who will fall in the scrap heap? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, man. It's kind of surreal being all the way up to issue 55. Oh, I didn't notice it before, but on the cover, where Sonic, Tails, and Metal Sonic are, you have the Starline swoop. Kind of symbolic of the fact that Surge has been seeing visions of Starline in her head. Also, advertisement for Sonic Prime. Can't wait, can't wait. Tune in, I'll definitely be doing reactions to it every week. But our story is by Evan Stanley, art by Adam Bryce Thomas. Ooh, Adam Bryce Thomas. Heck yeah. Where does the man find the time? Colors by the great Reggie Graham. Art by letters by the indomitable Sean Lee, and editors Riley Farmer and David Marriott. And a staple of the Sonic comic series, The Roll Call. Featured in this issue, Sonic the Hedgehog, the Blue Blur, fastest thing alive, Tails miles per hour, tech-savvy sidekick, high-flying genius, Dr. Eggman, mad genius, egg enthusiast, Metal Sonic, loyal minion, mechanical menace, Surge the Tenric, the mean green, roguish speedster, Kit Tsunami, Kit the Fennec, sorrowful sidekick, and high-flying hydromancer. Man, barely off of the first page and I'm already digging the art, as you see Surge freehanding and even seemingly chomping down on some electrical wire, trying to get that full-on charge through the dynamo cage and her body, as Kit sits at the console saying that's everything in the base routed to you. But suddenly everything goes dark as Surge questions what's going on. Kit explains, oh sorry, the breaker was overloaded. Until it restarts, we're on emergency power. Surge tosses the cable to the side, saying, fine, it'll do for now. Gotta be ready, Sonic won't leave us alone, so long as we're not marching in lockstep with him. Kit tenuously says, we could run or hide. But Surge, anger filling her eyes, says, no, this is where it ends. It's their fault that we're here, and we're going to make them pay for it. God, I love the angry look on their face. We then pick up with Sonic and Tails making their way through the desert. Tails saying, these readings aren't great, but from what I forgot, the trail leads here. They happen upon Starline's base. As Tails says, an Eggman base? Wait, no. Look at that, the insignia. Sonic, coming to a screeching halt, says, Starline made himself comfortable. As they walk towards the entrance, they find a door that's been ripped off the hinges. Sonic looks inside as he says, dark, dank, foreboding. Tails activates his flashlight saying, if they're not in here, Sonic says, if they're not in here, I'll eat my shoe. But suddenly something comes rocketing from behind, catching Sonic off guard as he's grabbed by Metal Sonic and pulled inside as Tails yells out for him. Tails then says, I'm coming, only for something to land right behind him. It's none other than the Eggman looming over Tails as he says, blast it, Metal! I didn't say you could run off! Get back here this instant! Oh, he says as he notices Tails right below him. I love this shot as Eggman just looms over Tails with the shadow behind him. Well, shadow being cast on Tails as Eggman scratches his chin saying, I take it you're with the rat. So Metal just went after. And the two quickly go racing into the base. God, I've missed the Egg Walker. Man, cool. Leave it to Adam Bryce to bring an oldie back. We then see Sonic and Metal Sonic just bouncing all across the walls of the warehouse, clashing all along the way. As Sonic says, that certainly was something back in Egghead City. I haven't seen you that mad in a while. But you still put on the brakes for Bell, just for a second. You want to talk about that? Still keeping in touch with the whole Sonic trying to get Metal Sonic to go down a different road. Be his own bot, you know? Metal Sonic's not willing to talk as he manages to elbow Sonic in the stomach and smash him into a container, only for Metal Sonic then to suddenly catch Tails' incoming kick. I love the blank expression Metal Sonic has in this. It's just so unsettling. As Tails says, sorry I'm late, ran into Eggman. I also love that Adam Bryce has Sonic's quills after he was smashed into the crate, still kind of, as he's leaning against it, they're kind of splayed out a little bit across the crate. I love that attention to detail and that understanding of depth. As the trio make their way on top of the various crates in the warehouse, ready for another clash, Sonic says, he's here? Figures. Alright, go time. Metal, I'm not giving up on you yet. Okay, Evan is keeping up with what Ian had already set in motion, that intense desire for free will for all. If you got an issue with it, I understand, but I dig it. I dig that mindset. We cut back to moments earlier when Eggman was initially chasing behind Tails, and he was chasing far behind. The Egg Walker is not very nimble, but if you've played Sonic Adventure 2, you know how sluggish those walkers moved. As Eggman screams at Tails saying, slow down, will you? Always with the running. Fine, a shortcut it is. But as he looks at the schematics for the base, the map out plan for the base, he says, gah, that platypus went and made modifications to my flawless floor plan? What a hassle. At least I can still track the Dynamo Cage's location. We then see none other than Surge watching from above Eggman in the rafters, as Eggman looks at the readout saying, that can't be right. How can it be right on top of? He suddenly turns around, pulling out his laser pistol, just nearly managing to miss blasting Surge right in the face. God, I love this art. Ugh. Adam Bryce Thomas can't miss. Surge then stomps onto Eggman's Egg Walker, smacking the blaster out of his hand, as she says, bad news, old man. I'm not letting you off easy this time. But it seems like Eggman's the one not letting her off easy, as the policy of Eggman Quick Hands from issue 50 still comes into play, as he manages to grab Surge, I almost called her Scourge, Surge quickly by the hair and just tosses her off the Egg Walker, saying, get off of my machine! Robots, hold her down! As the egg pawns swarm her as she hits the ground. And they go in for the friggin' kill. They all take their lances and just go, it's just like, dang! Good thing she can heal, because it'd be like, oof, this is a kid's book? But Surge, still empowered by the Wisp, uses spikes! As several energy spikes come jutting out of her body, impaling all of the egg pawns. And as Surge radiates with too much pink energy, she says to Eggman, did you really think that would stop me? Eggman then quickly taps away at his console saying, of course not! I just needed a moment to prepare! And with one final click of the button, he says, this! As a multitude of weapons and armaments jut out of the Egg Walker. Eggman unleashes a barrage of missile fire, but thanks to Surge's speed, she easily evades them, diving under the Egg Walker. But years of tracking Sonic have given Eggman quite the keen eye as he notices what she's done. And as he says, very cute, he activates the rocket boosters in the heel of the Egg Walker, slamming Surge to the ground because, booster fire right at your face. It ain't great. Her eyes even start to water from the intensity of the heat as Eggman says, ha! Don't try to outwit me, girl. And then Surge screams out as she uses laser! Producing two beams from her eyes that utterly destroy the legs of the Egg Walker. Man, I love the way the lasers come out. They kind of look like Darkseid's Omega beams as they jet out in different directions. The Egg Walker hits the ground hard, and so does the Eggman. He full on just bounces across the ground too. And as he turns, he cowers as he sees Surge just ripping apart the Egg Walker as she says, "More, need more." And she pulls out, I think, a Chaos Drive, right? From the wreckage, and she says, "Yes!" And she smashes the container, absorbing all of the chaos energy. As Eggman makes his way to a nearby console, typing away, saying, "If I'm not careful, she's going to turn me into meat. Good thing I came prepared." We also have this crazy image of Surge looking like she's friggin' high off of the power. She probably is, honestly. And as Eggman continues to type away, he says, "Starline may have put his name on it, but this is my base. I'm sure he didn't know about my private access codes." And as he sneaks to a nearby chute, he says, "Well, this has been fun, but I've got to strategically place the escape hatch to catch. Ta-ta!" With it, Surge noticing too late as Eggman... Well, he tiptoes over to the escape hatch, but it doesn't open, leaving both of them a little bit confused. Suddenly a message comes across the speaker next to the panel Eggman was just previously at, with the voice of Starline saying, "Click, hello, Doctor. You found my secret message. How exhilarating. I prepared this just for you." Eggman, sweating bullets, nervously pulls at his collar saying, "What, Starline?" The recording says, "I'm afraid your little cheat codes weren't as well hidden as you thought. This is my base, and I'll be making the rules. Your move." And as the message ends, dude, this panel of Surge powered up and sneering at Eggman with glee it just goes way too hard. It goes too hard. We then pick up with Metal Sonic managing to honestly deal with both Sonic and Tails at the same time until the voice of Eggman screams out from the other end of the base saying, "Yeah! Stay back, you fiend!" Metal Sonic hears this and turns as Sonic says, "That doesn't sound good. Deja vu all over again, huh, buddy?" Metal Sonic then races off in the direction of the scream as Tails tells Sonic, "Sonic, if Surge is there," Sonic says, "Yep, like it or not, we gotta go too." And the two of them go racing off, following behind Metal Sonic. Jeez. Surge is on top of Eggman, energy radiating from her hand. She's full on, as Eggman's just trying to push her off, she's biting down on his finger. Oh man, stuff that goes way too hard. Eggman screams out, "Now, let's be reasonable. I have a lot of resources at my disposal and can always use, motivated individuals like yourself in my employ." But Surge says, "You genius types never know when to shut up, do ya? Maybe you'll stop once I knock your teeth in." But then Surge manages to catch Metal Sonic right before he would have smacked right into her. But seeing an opportunity, Eggman just kicks her off of him, saying, "Finally!" Surge skids across the ground, saying, "You think your pet robot can take me? I've chewed through more of your rust buckets than I can count." But her skidding across the floor is stopped as Sonic stops her with his shoe to her butt. Surge looks behind her, seeing Sonic teasingly smiling at her. She then looks in the other direction, seeing Metal Sonic, with Eggman adjusting himself and looking positively pissed behind his metal creation. Ooh, again, dude, Adam, why do you go this hard? This panel of Eggman standing behind Metal Sonic, who is looking way too detailed. Eggman smiles and says, any other unfounded boast you'd like to blurt out? I'm all ears." And as Surge starts to look around, nervously panicking, Sonic says, That Don't make this any harder than it needs to be, Surge. She then goes rocketing up into the scaffolding above, saying, "No!" Sonic says, "See anything, Tails?" Tails says, "Nope, I think she's gone." Surge, obviously panicking, thinks to herself, "They're working together? It doesn't matter how strong I get. They'll find another way to hurt me. Hurt us," as she curls up in the scaffolding above, honestly in a bit of a fetal position. She then manages to make her way back to the console room where Kit was at, hitting the ground hard, sprawling out on the floor, gasping. Kit turns to her and calls out her name, but Surge is just a mess on the ground, saying, "I'm not enough. Never enough. Never." Kit helps her up, saying, I couldn't find you on the cameras. I didn't know what to do." But Surge doesn't say anything. She then tells him Eggman and Sonic are working together. The plan, it'll still work. It has to. Is everything ready? Kit says, "Uh-huh. I've locked down all other routes in the base. They have nowhere else to go." As we see Sonic and Tails standing opposed to Metal Sonic and Eggman. Sonic, ready for a showdown, says, "Okay, Eggman. I'm gonna need an explanation or else I'm picking up where Surge left off." Eggman shouts back, "The nerve! I'm the victim here. She stole my dynamo cage. It's a unique, extremely dangerous device. I'm only here to reclaim my property." Sonic says, "So that's what the fancy hat's all about." Eggman snaps back, "It's not a hat." Sonic calls for a timeout and says, "Give me 2 seconds to consult with my associate." Eggman... I love this panel. Mockingly leans back on the wall saying, "Suit yourself. I need a breather anyway." Sonic whispers over to Tails, "What do you think?" Tails nervously says, "We might be able to take Metal, but we still need to deal with Surge. Fighting both of them is a major risk." Sonic says, "Yeah, as much as I'd like to throw down, Surge is a bigger priority right now. Eggman wants his toy back, but I'm sure I can accidentally smash it somewhere along the line." Smart play. We also see Eggman downing some water. Gotta stay hydrated. Sonic then points to Eggman and says, "Alright, Eggman, we'll help you handle Surge, and you and Metal won't start anything till we're out of this dump. Deal?" Eggman sneers, "A truce, eh?" He holds out his hand saying, "Absolutely! Of course Metal Sonic could handle the situation, but your support will be quite useful." I love the questioning look Sonic and Tails give the outstretched hand of Eggman. Again, Adam, you going too hard, man. Sonic shakes Eggman's hand, but pulls him in and points to him saying, "I'll be watching you." Eggman says, I'll absolutely crush you. Eventually." Tails then pulls out his Miles electronic as Eggman and Sonic look in on it. As Tails explains, "Judging by my map, there's only one way that's open to us for us to go." Sonic says, "Ooh, a trap. Sounds like fun." And as the 4 of them make their way through, Tails questions, "Does it?" Eggman says, "If I'd known you were enjoying them, I wouldn't have made so many." Sonic then says, "Do you think she's following us?" Eggman huffily states, "If she is, it's likely she'll attack you 2 first, less visibility. And if she has any scent, which is debatable, she knows Metal and I won't come to your aid." And as they make their way into a room that very much looks like Starline was staying there, Sonic says, "Gee, this team-up just gets better and better." Whoa. He looks around the room ominous. Very ominous looking. Tails notices some schematics on the ground and says, "Wait, he was processing data on our lives, trying to identify a pattern?" Sonic says, "Creepy. But why?" Tails makes his way over to the table, saying, "I think so he could make us, but following his design." Dude, I love that if you look close enough, you actually see the initial concept sketches done for both Surge and Kit. That is so cool! Like, Surge and Kit's character turnarounds and their prototype designs, that is wild! Oh, that is so cool! And Sonic has this horrified look on his face as he says, "He made them?" Eggman gleefully looks at the tanks that used to contain Surge and Kit and says, "Indeed. biomodification, cybernetic augmentation, neural conditioning. Any one would be difficult alone, and he was entirely successful, all while scavenging his own materials and equipment. Man, Eggman seems to actually kind of take a bit of joy in this. Even Sonic says, if I didn't know better, I'd say you were impressed. Eggman says, oh, I am. It's a remarkable achievement. Dr. Starline possessed one of the finest minds I've ever encountered. Oh, I'm actually shocked to hear him giving him praise. Tails is just worriedly smacking at the schematic saying, he's talking about kidnapping and brainwashing people, and all he wanted was for you to recognize him. If you just told him that while he was alive, none of this would have happened. Eggman then says, I know that, but I would never do such a thing. Tails then shouts, you just did! But Eggman sneers and twirls his mustache saying, not at all. Admitting the skill of a bested enemy only proves my brilliance. Ooh, I like that. He's just I'm hyping him up because, well, I kicked his ass. So, what does that say about me? Ooh, that's good. That is good. Sonic just sighs and says, I've heard enough. Let's just get this over with. They make their way into another room with several more tanks. Geez, how many attempts did Starline have until he finally got the Surgeon Kit? Sonic calls out, hey, I know you're watching. We're here. Ooh, Surgeon Kit then make their way out from behind one of the tubes, and Sonic says, listen, I don't want to fight you guys. Hand over the doohickey. We can all walk away. Surge and Kit look at each other, but then assume their battle stances, saying, too bad, it's not up to you then. Oh, too bad it's not up to you then. Oh, snap. We then have this massive page of Surge going in against Sonic and Metal Sonic as Tails goes in against Kit. Next time, fight! Dude, I hope Adam is doing the next issue too. This crushed it. Dude, just absolutely kills it with the character designs, the expressions, the minute little movements they make. Oh, I love it. Evan, Adam, Reggie, killing it. Killing the game. Dominating. Flawless victory. The best in the biz, showing what they got. And I know there's one more issue in this storyline, so I am curious. What happens to Surge and Kit after this? I mean, I don't know how they're going to deal with Surge and Kit. Will they just run off to parts unknown, or I don't know. Best case scenario from my point of view is the Dynamo Cage gets smashed, but Surge takes what she's experienced to heart and maybe grows from all of this. Ian has gone on record saying that Surge still has the potential to grow and become more powerful. The biggest thing against her throughout all of this is inexperience. So my hope is that she grows more and more tenacious and becomes more and more of a problem in the future. So I don't want her to just poof, disappear, get in prison, anything like that. I do want her to disappear in the idea of runs away, gets away, becomes a threat out there. Because I'm also looking forward to the next story arc, but we'll leave that for later. But I love the fact that Ian built these characters up, molded them, crafted them, turned them into very sympathetic characters. And then Evan has been just really driving all of those finer points home. When you set up a character well enough, somebody else can come in and just drive all that stuff forward. And the fact that Evan and Ian keep themselves appraised, see where the other wants to lead things, back off in certain cases so the other's not too restricted. I love the respect these two creators have for the product, because it's obvious they take cues from each other, and a writing staff that works well together should do exactly that. There should be no sense of being blindsided going into the story going forward. Sometimes that can create a good amount of drama, but sometimes that can make the fans feel a little bit incensed, because to just drop everything you were doing before feels a little bit, come on, man. But I love that each story progresses into the other. It has never once felt like we're just like, oh, where did this come from? It always feels like everything leads into something else. And that's what I love about it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. What was your favorite part of this issue? How do you think things will cap off? How will Surge and Kit finally be defeated? And what will become of them after the fact? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, but also remember to like, subscribe, bell, all that good YouTube stuff. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.